Hello, friends. Welcome to a new episode of Countercurrents. In this episode, we'll explore the problem of fake godmen in India. In India, we have fake godmen across the length and breadth of the country and who conduct thriving business. They have millions and millions of followers. And typically, they are above the law. Generally, people kind of, fall for their message. They trust them entirely. It takes time for the law to catch up, but at the time of recording this video, two of these babas that you see on the screen are lodged in jail for heinous crimes like rape and murder. One of them is absconding. Two other babas that you see here on your screen on the far left and the far right, Jaggi Vasudev and Double Sri Ravi Shankar, they have multitude of cases pending against them, but they are currently still out of jail. But in this video, we want to explore the reasons why these fake babas are so appealing. The messages these fake babas, are so appealing to people. Why are they able to gain so much trust? Why is it that people are spending so much of their hard-earned money on them? They are able to spend so much time on them, and then they are actually, in some cases, sadly, they are even losing their lives, you know, for falling for these babas, right? Why is this problem so acute for Hindu societies? Why don't we see the problem of these fake gurus with millions of followers in, let's say, Islamic societies, right? So we'll explore those, issues in this video. But before we get to the real causes, you have to kind of understand the Hindu caste system, right? The Hindu caste system, right, is central to a Hindu society. The Hindu castes, basically, at the topmost level of the Hindu caste system are the Brahmins. For thousands and thousands of years, knowledge was kind of limited to this particular caste. Brahmins were the exclusive caste by virtue of birth who could seek religious knowledge and have these spiritual experiences, whereas no one else, just by virtue of birth, were actually allowed to enroll in any religious schools for that matter. Now let's look at Kshatriyas, the second caste, right? This is next to the Brahmins, there's Kshatriyas. They are generally the warrior classes. These are the ruling classes who have actually ruled society in working with close, proximity with the Brahmins, right? And then below Kshatriyas are the Vaishyas. Vaishyas are people who actually are indulging in, like, trades like, merchants or blacksmiths or carpenters and so on, right? And then at the bottommost of the caste system are the Shudras. These are the people who perform the menial tasks, right? These are the tasks that are like, they are cleaning the households, or they are acting as servants and so on, right? In addition to all these four major castes, there's something called as Dalits. These are the outcasts, right? These are people who live outside of the caste systems. They are called as the intouchables. These are people are stationed generally outside of the villages. They don't have access to the village water, or they can't actually, draw water from the village wells. Even entering the village, they need kind of under special conditions they can enter villages. They need to put their head down, and they need to basically, not spit on the roads and so on. All kinds of, the most condemned, part of Hindu society are the Dalits, right? Now, if you look at the breakdown of the Hindu society, you are looking at 5% of them are Brahmins, roughly, and 95% can be kind of, lumped between either Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, or the Dalits. Okay? Now, what are the ramifications of this birth-based segregation model? What are the ramifications of that, right? Let's look at that. If you look at this 5% of Brahmins, they have exclusive monopoly on Hindu spiritual knowledge. Just by virtue of birth, these are the only people who can actually become priests, or who can enroll in schools to gain religious knowledge. If somebody from the Shudras or say Vaishya says, oh, you know what, I want to make my son the priest of a temple, let him go and learn the Vedas or the Upanishads. No, disqualified by birth. Simple. You just cannot do that, right? So what happens to the rest of the 95% of the Hindu society? They have to rely on Brahmins to tender religious services, right? They have no access to religious pursuit. They don't have any access to religious education. All opportunities for spiritual pursuits are cut off or closed off just by mere virtue of birth. So what happens because of that? For 95% of the Hindu society, a religious experience becomes a ritual experience. They are either flying kites or firing crackers or eating laddus or throwing colors on people. These are rituals. There is no pursuit of, there is no avenue to have a spiritual experience, right, for these 95%. So what happens because of this? What happens because of this huge delta in spiritual experiences, right? Opportunity for the spiritual experiences, right? There is a delta. This delta is void, is filled by these fake gurus. These guys will come and tell these people, hey, what, you want a religious experience, you want a spiritual experience, give us the money, give us the time, give us the resources, we will provide you for that. We have this knowledge. Since all these guys are hapless now, they don't know how to actually pursue that, so they fall for this, right? Sometimes these fake gurus say they themselves are gods actually. So there have been occasions wherein these fake gurus have claimed to be gods and people actually worship them. For example, there was a Sai Baba in South India who called himself God. I think the guy who's actually lodged in jail, Ram Rahi, he calls himself God as well, right? So that is the void. The reason they are able to fill this void is because Hindu societies is segregated by caste and the opportunities for religious pursuits are exclusive. 95% of Hindus are disqualified just by virtue of birth. Let's contrast that with Islamic societies. In Islamic societies, right, there is no entry barrier for religious education. There is no caste system in Islamic societies. Complete democratization of spiritual pursuits. Let us say a rickshawala, right? He is very poorest of the poor. Rickshawala says, okay, I want to make my son a imam of a particular grand masjid in a town. There is no disqualification based on the fact that he is the son of a rickshawala or he is the son of a coolie. No. He can pursue religious education and he can become the imam of the grandest mosque in the city or the town, provided he exhibits that competency. So it is a competency based pursuit, right? And Muslims basically make religious education a part of the children's upbringing. They can easily hire a person, a hafiz or somebody to teach them Quran, how to read the Quran, how to actually experience religion, right? How to pray and so on. Right? So they actually, when they grow up, if they need any spiritual experience, they know what to do. They have their tools. They don't need to go to some Baba to say, you know what, I'm not feeling well, I'm stressed or I don't know what to do. No, they already have the tools to take care of themselves because those are available for them, and they have been trained to kind of use them since childhood, right? So this is why Muslim societies generally don't have this problem of fake babas. They don't have to go to a baba to uh, have a spiritual experience. They can just read the religious text. They can listen to the religious text. They can pray, right, to feel to have a spiritual experience, right? So this is the intent of this video, guys. I wanted to contrast to why Hindu societies fall prey for these fake babas, gurus, and so on. Whereas most of the Muslims already, right, are equipped with the tools to deal with this kind of thing, and they don't fall for. It's not a huge problem in Muslim families and societies, right? I hope you guys like this video. If you like it, please share and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much.